Hello friends, how we doing? Long time no see. I have missed you tons, but here we are. We have a review on new Victoria Beckham tint. I'm excited. We are going to do a 2-day wear test on this little guy. I have worn these the past week, and so we'll get to that. This is the juicy stuff that I have right on my cheeks. If you are into luxury beauty or just beauty in general, makeup, perfumes, skincare, do not forget to follow along, check out all my other socials for a little bit more beauty. And without further ado, let's begin. Finally sitting in again. I have missed you guys so much. I know some of you have messaged me. I'm good. I just get very busy over the summertime. You know, kids are at home and it's very challenging to find a little window to film. I am very active on Instagram and TikTok if you really wanted to keep up with me, but here in YouTube and the longer content is just very hard for me to manage. But Miss Victoria Beckham released a tint and I am such a fan of tints. I love them, and so I wanted to try this one. It looked precious. She has 3 different colors. Those are them. I picked up the shade Flushed, which really looked like the more reddish and beautiful to them all. And yeah, we're gonna put this on. This is actually a full-on review because I have tried this tint the past week. I'm gonna show you how long it wore. I did a 2-day wear test on this, and yeah friends, as you can see, I have my base. Then I have not set it anything on, only my concealer I set, but we're gonna be applying this guy on our high points on our cheeks and nose and all that good stuff. So firstly, let's move on to some of the descriptions. This is her color wash blush water tint. It retails for 65 Canadian dollars. I'll leave the US right there. And this is a long wear watercolor inspired flush in 3 energizing shades that deliver a refreshing skin loving formula. The water light tint soaks into the skin with a diffuse bloom of color that looks like it's naturally rising from within. It's all clean ingredients. It is very hydrating. It has mineralized sea salt water. It has coconut fruit water and fruit extracts. I mean, this is packed with very good ingredients, and hence the price, because we're gonna do a little comparisons towards the end with a very much affordable one that may look the same, but ingredient wise not really. So let's start off with the packaging and what it looks like. In here we actually get 6 ml of the product, 0.2 fluid ounces of the product, and we get a beautiful glass bottle. As you can see, we get the Victoria Beckham right there. I have used it already that much, which sounds crazy because she did come up, fill up to the rim. The cap is a very thick plastic. You're gonna turn it around, and then this is the applicator. So here I feel like it's glass, and then we get a metal tip as your dispenser. So that's that. If you can see, you fill it up by pushing the top, and then this is how you are gonna dispense the product on you. To be honest, this is a tint. I don't really like to apply tints with my fingers because then I'm gonna end up with stained fingers, so I always apply it with a brush. Few things. The dropper, it has a little bit of a learning curve. You don't wanna fill it up to the tip, because if you do, when you're gonna pump it on your cheek area, it may drip. And I feel like it has actually made a mess the first time that I tried it, and it did went down my whole cheek, and that was no bueno. So little goes a long way. If you can manage to only drop 1 little dot, sorry about that, if you manage to only apply 1 little dot, you'll be fine. You don't need much more than that, so we're gonna aim for that. I'm gonna show you. So let's do 1 dot like so, and then I'm gonna go ahead with a brush and I'm gonna pat. This to me is a very much buildable product. You can see how glowy it is, but it is very light when it comes to the color. So I have to do few passes of this to get the desired color. So we go with application 2. Also, it's gonna depend on the brush, if the brush is gonna soak up your whole product, you know, or if you can manage to get a very packed brush, I guess. I have been applying it with another, not this one. This is from BK Beauty 116, but I have been using the Referal flat brush. It's just in my makeup bag because I was applying this diligently every single day for the past week, and that's why it's so used. But this is it with like the 2 applications. You can see the little tint is very natural. It's very much skin perfected, extremely juicy. I mean, it is so juicy. But I have to say, these products do lift up your base underneath. Even though I didn't set my base with powder or anything like that, I feel like it mixes with the tint. It lifts it up just a little bit because I'm able to see more of my sunspots that I wasn't able to see when I had my foundation on. I hope that makes sense. But it is so gorgeous. I love the look. I absolutely love the look. It is so pretty. Now we can do a little bit more so that you can see if we can build it up more. You know, my skin tone is like a medium, and towards the summer more tan. I get very tan very easy. So that was just for your reference if you were wondering. Foundations, I am a medium light, but for summertime I always get warm, so medium warm. I'm not so neutral like I am in the winter time. So say Dior, I usually use 3N for 3 neutral, but for winter I'll be using 3.5 warm. But you can see how beautiful, like look how gorgeous it just builds up. It gives that delicious, very juicy effect on the skin that is so pretty. So pretty. Now, this does not set. I got that question. It doesn't set. That's it. It will remain, you know, it will remain very glowy. I don't touch it, to be honest, but it doesn't bother me. My hair doesn't stick to it. It's not bothersome to me. So that's that. Now we're gonna put some to our lips. I tend to line my lips, right? So I'm gonna line them just a little bit, but I'll leave just the center like that. I didn't line them beforehand, so you can see the color. For the lips, this is very sheer. I was never able to really build it up too much on my lips as I am with other tints. So for my lips, it just stayed like this, very soft and just light. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Alright friends, so this is it. As you can see, this is what it looks like on. It is delicious, juicy complexion, which I love. Again, this will not be like a bother to me if I wanna have this look. I'll be fine. I have not set this with powder, which I usually do. Sometimes tints like this tend to get too glowy, but I didn't find like this did. This will stay like this and that'll be it. Now, I did set it the second day that I wore it because I wanted to test that out. And I'm gonna show you a little clip of what that looked like on. This is 13 hours after I applied it. So this is my bathroom, you know, lighting. I was just gonna take off my makeup and I said, let me just show you. So that was that. The first day that I wore it, this is 14 hours of wear. These I did not set, so I feel like if you set it, it will last a little longer, but you know, not really. I mean, it really depends on what you're doing. I was out both days, very warm, very humid, just like out and about with kids, and you know, it takes a toll on the product too. So anyways, friends, as you can see, I am loving this tint. However, I do feel like I'm gonna go through these quite quickly because I already see a dent, which worries me to be quite honest, and I feel like it is because I have to build up to my desired color. You know, like I like this. I feel like it's perfection, and I have gotten so many compliments on how juicy my skin looks from this because it's just like so pretty. It looks so natural. It's like, what did she do? So I anticipate I'm gonna run fairly quickly, you know, if I want to use it to this color payoff, but that's that. Now, when it comes to comparisons, because I know I'll get questions, I do not have the Tint to compare this with. Sadly, I did go into store yesterday. I did my due diligence and I swatched those ones in store, and I feel like it is very close to Etude, which is this guy here. I'm gonna show you a little clip of our reels that I posted on my Instagram, one on each side. One $12, the other one $46, and you can see that at the end they're very close. They're very close. The only big difference is Victoria Beckham's is just more hydrating, you can see, but even the Korean one, the Tude one, is just stunning, very buildable as well. And I tell you, I have had this Etude little tint for a long time and I have loved it and I use it. I do use it even on winter time because I just feels like it gives me the most natural look. So every time I don't want blush, I just go with the tint and I'll call it a day. Now, it does also lift up my base, and that's the nature of a product like this. So I don't think it's just, you know, just this. If you want to have this juicy look, you're gonna, you know, you probably will wear it without no makeup, you know, for the no makeup look, or just like this. Like I don't think like it looks crazy. My sunspots are showing and it looks very pretty. You also have to be careful where I apply the dots because it could tend to look, you know, a little patchy where I directly apply it, especially if you don't blend it right away. So as soon as I apply it, I have my brush ready to just like blend it out so that nothing gets, you know, weird under. But that's that. So there you have the comparison. Again, I don't have the tint, but I feel like it is so close to the Tude, the Korean one, that it'll be the same. The juice on both the tint and the Tude is very light, like it's almost water. This guy, she is very much thick, and you can see that it's like, I don't know, it's just like, because it's thicker, it's like jam-packed with like good stuff. Like you just can't help it but to think that way, and I feel like it is, according to what I have read on her website. So there you have it. Let me know, what do you think? What do you think of this little guy? What do you think of the comparison that I just made? What do you think of this finish? Do you have any other tint that gives you this beautiful finish? Any comments, friends, are always welcome down below. Thank you, friends, for always watching and supporting. I love you. I'll miss you, and I'll catch you on my next one. Bye.